what is competitive enablement? And I'd say it's a fairly new term as well. You've probably, most listeners are probably more familiar with the term competitive intelligence, which has been around for decades and has been a highly strategic function for startups all the way up to very, very large enterprises. And I would say competitive enablement is a bit of a challenge to that status quo, which is competitive intelligence of days past was typically a back office somewhere in an ivory tower doing deep competitive research on the market and providing those reports or trends to a select group of people, maybe to the executive team or maybe to a corporate strategy team. But it was fairly guarded. And where competitive enablement was really born from was, how do we make sure that those insights are enabling the entire business from wall to wall? I'd say the most popular or most valuable use case out of the gate is for revenue teams, salespeople, anyone that's customer facing. They need to know what their competitors are doing, what their competitors are saying, so that they can win and renew more business. And that was really the idea where enablement came from, borrowing that from sales enablement or revenue enablement. And so, the analogy I like to use around competitive enablement versus competitive intelligence is that old saying, if a tree falls in the forest and there's no one there to hear it, does it still make a sound? You could have all the best intelligence about your competitors in the world. You could know exactly what they're doing. You could be logged into their Slack and their email, but if your business isn't doing anything with that insight to win more business, to build better products, it's not going to have any impact. No one was there to hear it. And so that's kind of competitive enablement in a quick 60-second pitch there. In terms of different stages, so pre-launch, at launch, and on an ongoing basis, I think that's a great way that we can kind of open up the aperture for our conversation, depending on where you're most interested, because I think it can mean different things depending on where you're at.